Hey everybody, welcome back around to the Blog and Grill. I'm your host Doug here with your video blog for September 17th, 2015. Shorter blog, good blog though planned for you today as we have a lot to get to in a short amount of time. Thursday blogs will be a little bit shorter than all the other blogs of the weekend as we'll be wrapping up on Mondays, we'll be picking on Saturdays, but Thursday nights we'll be talking NFL studs and duds, your best players and your worst players of each week. We'll keep a tally of who wins the most studs and who wins the most duds, and also we'll have college football previews. We have college football week 3 starting to get heated up a little bit. We'll also talk a little bit about the new AD that should go to Texas, and we'll also have Hunt for October as we'll have a standings update there. NFL studs and duds week 1. I'll give you a stud, then I'll give you a dud. Let's start with the stud. First stud, Julio Jones, 9 catches, 141 yards, and 2 touchdowns in the Atlanta Falcons Week 1 win over the Philadelphia Eagles. My first dud goes out to Adrian Peterson. First game back off his suspension from last year. 10 carries, just 31 yards, 3.1 yards per rush, and they lose 20-3 to the 49ers. My stud is a 49er, Carlos Hyde, third-year player out of Ohio State. 26 carries, 168 yards, and 2 touchdowns for Carlos Hyde, a very good running back as they beat the Vikings 20-3. And my final dud goes out to Dez Bryant. Broke his foot, out 4 to 6 weeks for the Dallas Cowboys, but Dallas still got the win against the New York Giants. So studs for the week, Julio Jones, Carlos Hyde, duds, Adrian Peterson, Dez Bryant. Let's talk college football week 3. The big news yesterday out of the Big 12 was Texas firing athletic director Steve Patterson. He is out at Texas, and there's going to be a new AD coming in, and I think the new AD should be Mack Brown, and I think that'd be big-time irony. Mack Brown sent out. Now he'll be coming back. He's been doing great at ESPN as an analyst. I think he should be the front runner for this position. He understands the Texas football job. He understands the program. He coached the program, knows how to schedule, knows how to recruit, knows what needs to be done in Texas, knows how to handle the boosters, which is the most important part of the job. So I think Mack Brown should be the favorite to get this job if Texas goes outside of the Big 12 to get this position done. Other big games this weekend. Big game in the SEC. Auburn versus LSU, 18 versus 13. This is going to be a big matchup. I think LSU has to be the favorite to win this game, and LSU has to win this game because they have a big matchup next weekend as they will head up to Syracuse to take on the Orange at the Dome. That's going to be a big game for Syracuse. Auburn versus LSU this week. Look for Auburn to play better this week after they struggled last week with Jacksonville State. They're going to have to play better. Jeremy Johnson's going to have to throw the ball better for them, and that's going to be a tough matchup for a good Auburn team to go up against LSU down in Death Valley. And the other big game has to be number 14, Georgia Tech versus number 8, Notre Dame. Notre Dame loses Malik Zaire. And we'll have to see how the Notre Dame defense adjusts, and if Notre Dame can play better this week against the run, it's going to be crucial as they go up against Justin Thomas and the triple option of the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. They're going to have to get it done. Georgia Tech has been playing pretty good ball these past couple of years. Justin Thomas has really been the premier quarterback for this offense. And it's just going to be interesting to see if Notre Dame can stop Georgia Tech enough, or if Georgia Tech can just run all over Notre Dame. And if they can, I think Georgia Tech could win this game if they can get over 200 yards rushing against the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. All right, let's go to Hunt for October here before we get out of here tonight on the blog. And there was a big injury in Major League Baseball today. Kong out of Pittsburgh tore his ACL and MCL. He's going to be out for the remainder of the year. All right, so let's first go to the American League, and pretty much the East Yankees are still 3 games back of the Toronto Blue Jays. Toronto Blue Jays Wild magic number is at 15. Kansas City, they're down to an 8 for their magic number. They're just about ready to lock it up. And Texas and Houston have gone into an extreme battle right now. I think Texas, the hot team right now. Prince Fielder's hitting the ball well. Adrian Beltre started to hit the ball well. And really, I think the advantage has to be with the Texas Rangers as they play 11 of the remaining 17 at home, but the teams they'll be playing against similar win-loss record. Um, and really, Los Angeles isn't even out of that race right now quite yet, as Los Angeles is 5 back in the division and 3.5 out in the wild card. Minnesota also still in that wild card race, as they have 17 games to go in a big series with the Angels coming up this weekend. So the American League wild card has the Yankees on top with a 3.5 game lead over second place Houston, and then Minnesota is a game and a half back of them. But if we go to the National League, we have the Mets, who have pretty much locked up the National League East. They can start getting their rotation ready. They have a big series with the Yankees this weekend. Cardinals, 13 is their magic number. They have a 4.5 game lead over Pittsburgh and a 6.5 game lead over Chicago. That race is pretty much well in hand. Dodgers, 7.5 over the Giants. That game is well in hand. So really what the races come down to are these wild card races. And in the National League, it's just who's going to get the home game for the wild card game, either Pittsburgh or Chicago, as Pittsburgh has a 2-game lead over the Chicago Cubs. And if you look at Pittsburgh's remaining schedule, really Pittsburgh has the tougher draw, as Pittsburgh has 10 away games to just 6 home games, and it's the other way for the Cubs. So we'll see if the Cubs can catch them. I bet Pittsburgh, though, gets that home wild card game. All right, so Saturday, still trying to line up a guest for Saturday. I'm going to be working on that, trying to get that figured out. A guy, bring him in, pick some football, talk some football. It should be a lot of fun. So we'll have football picks for week 2. We'll also talk NASCAR Chase at Chicagoland, and we'll keep you updated on the Major League Baseball races if anything else changes with those. You can follow me on Twitter at YankeeBaller415. That is YankeeBaller415. You can also check me out on SportsMindedNews.com. You can comment, questions, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks for tuning in to the Blog and Grill. I will be back on Saturday. Have a good rest of your week.